Hey everyone, welcome back to Crypto Cash. Thanks again for joining me here. Hope you're having a fantastic day. Congrats again to all those in profit on the Solana longs here. Take a look at this guy. Boom, Josh Raj. Fantastic entry. Very well done. 100x, a little high on the high side myself, but I know low position size, different story altogether. Anyways, congrats, very well done. What I want to do is talk a little bit about what's changed from this morning because we discussed that there's potential resistance about 58. So far, that hasn't proven to be an issue. Okay, you got to keep in mind too, though, and this is the main reason why we're seeing this. Bitcoin is up like a manic depressant crazy person, up almost 4% in the last 4 hours. Okay, so again, pretty significant change of pace for Bitcoin. That's allowing coins like this here to flourish. Okay, now Solana does well on its own for the most part, but lately it has been needing some kind of little some consistency from Bitcoin. All right, and that's what we're looking for here: consistency. Bitcoin, instead of being like a heart monitor, if it can kind of go sideways for a little while, I guarantee most of these coins are going to be doing a lot better. Anyways, just some foundational knowledge there, and we'll take a look at some back end stuff here too. Just before I do, just want to say thank you so much for the wonderful feedback I've been receiving with Bitunix. Phenomenal exchange, I agree. Link down below if you want to qualify for this exclusive offer available for the next next week from tomorrow through the 30th. So just a heads up on that. If you use my link to register, you'll be qualified for that. Links down below for details, but they have no VPN, no KYC required. Phenomenal exchange. Definitely recommend them highly. Again, I'm a Bitget fan, but US, Canada, majority of other countries, unfortunately, kind of got squashed or damaged with that VPN KYC requirement. Okay, so let's look at the larger time frame, work our way down. Before we do that, though, just to quickly kind of update you, we're still in decent shape. We are honoring this ascending trend. So I talked about this morning. Simply put, we're above the 20-day SMA. That's a very important level, and this ascending trend line hasn't been broken yet. So again, still bullish in the overall sense of things with this coin. We do have a fair value gap that was half filled this morning for a second time, so not really that big of a deal. And if I recall correctly, we've got some liquidity levels in the upper ranges here. Let's go ahead and take a quick look at that too. So if you are a shorting fan of Solana right now, you might want to be careful. Look at how heavy the shorts are right now at that $63 to $64 mark. $62.50 to $63.50, massive amount of shorts. Again, betting against Solana is never a good call. Obviously, there was some proof, and the price was coming down yesterday. But that's with a 5% correction from Bitcoin. What's a 5% correction to the upside going to do as well, right? We got to recognize these levels are going to be gravitated towards with the larger position sizes, or more so just liquidity sweeps. Those happen all the time. Okay, so just know you got a target on your back at 62.50 to 63.50. If you look at your liquidation levels on your shorts right now, you may want to reconsider. Okay, just some friendly advice. Again, shorting this coin in general is not a great idea, but right now, definitely not. We got a very strong bullish engulfing candle. MACD is starting to lose its momentum, and we're staying above 50 in the RSI. Those are all perfect sweet spots there. So the daily time frame gives us a lot of verification or validation that we're on the right side of the tracks. We saw that earlier today, but we didn't have the momentum we have now. Okay, and keep in mind, this little exciting time that we're having right now, it could very well shift, and the price could pull back. But we do have some support levels working to our advantage. This 0.786 at 54.75. We talked about that earlier today. There was a possibility of the price pulling back to that level. At this point, there's a stronger possibility if we break through this average true range at $58, that 58 will be the new support. Okay, because that's been kind of this magnetic gravitational pull towards the center, and that's what average true range is. Basically, the largest amount of volume accumulation at a specific price point. So it does work as a support and resistance. We want to close over $58 today to have any luck in continuing higher. But speaking of magnet, like I was talking, those levels of liquidation are all up here. We've got what, 62.50, 63.50. These are the liquidation levels we saw in that heat map, telling us that the price action is going to get wrecked if it comes up to that level. In other words, if you have a short, it'll get liquidated at that point. Not everyone, of course. It's not a standalone thing. It's just a lot of liquidation levels are exactly at that range. And it makes sense. It's just above this most recent high. Okay, oftentimes that'll work as a resistance. So keep in mind, that 61.25, as we addressed earlier, is a strong resistance level. Okay, so that's why there's a lot of shorts just above that range, because it's a resistance proven in the past at 0.382. Okay, so we've already summarized that we're in that shape there. Previous Elliott Wave pattern has fulfilled itself. We had basically a head and shoulders too. So we got the shoulder, the head, shoulder, and the slope down. It double bottomed though, and the price action responded extremely well to that $51 mark. Okay, so excellent stuff. That lower liquidity level was swept. We're back on track. Okay, keep in mind we do have a little bit of a fair value gap right here at about 55.50 to 56.90. I'm not super concerned about that, but that does imply that price could pull back to sweep that lower level. Fair value gaps are swept in time, not always right away. And oftentimes they're barely swept and not completely. In other words, we'll sometimes see a little halfer and the price continues higher, right? Again, just letting you know this there. We got the moving averages also here to pay attention to. Let's go ahead and get some other stuff on the chart so you can kind of see that better. We got the 50 and the 20. So we're above the 20, we're rejecting at the 50. This is a very standard procedure. To me, being up over the 20 is an important thing because that gives us a good understanding of the last, few days that we are on the right side of those tracks again. We've been below the 20 for a little while, and that's never a great place. Ideally, we close above the 50 at 50 or higher today. That'd be perfect. Okay, that's what we're looking for. If we take a look at RSI, back up over 50 as well. Again, you'll notice that the number 50 is a very common occurrence in trading. Whether or not it's 0.50 Fibonacci or 50 on the RSI, there's a lot of 50s in trading that I find to be very beneficial. So pay attention to that. But look how sweet this is. Perfect bounce off of 30 on the RSI with a low money flow index. That's like the perfect combination of taking entry in any scenario. Again, I wouldn't say it's the absolute best, but it's definitely a strong indication you're going to do it. A lot of times it leads to a dead cat bounce, but oftentimes you can get in and out in time. But in this case here, we don't need to worry about that. We got a MACD convergence here, fully converging. Earlier today, it was on its way. Now it has officially. So that basically gives us green light to leave a long position open. What's great is we had multiple entries on our Solana trade we took a couple of days ago. We averaged our price really low. We're in like the $57, $56 range right now with our average price. So we're going to be looking at a sweet reward once it hits our target. Again, I think our target's upwards in the 62 range, so that does mean that we have to hit those liquidation levels to be able to take profit. Might consider adjusting that, but I don't think we need to worry about that. I think we're in good shape because, again, as a community, we have quite a few swing trades open right now, and this being one of them is doing very well. It was actually doing well earlier today, but it's even better now at this point. Love to see it. Last but not least, let's go ahead and take a quick look at the Ichimoku Cloud. Ooh, baby, look at that. This is perfect. Okay. The reason why this is perfect is because of the fact that we have not only confirmation that we've closed above with a solid hour and a half or so, but the lagging span's free and clear. We just broke above the key level resistance here. It's not to say it can't pull back, but if it does, it gives us some certainty that this $56, $57 range should likely hold as a support. What's even greater is this most recent high here. We've broken through that level, so that should essentially establish itself as a new low. The reason why that's important is because when you have trend reversals, the trend will continue in one direction, right? And then in order to reverse that trend, you need to either have range-bound activity, which we skipped that step, or you need to establish higher highs and higher lows. And what is this right here? That's a higher low, okay? And what is this right here? A higher high, higher than the previous most recent relevant high, okay? Again, super cool. So I love to see this. The price does pull back. I would recommend an entry somewhere in the $57 range. That's right there where the previous high was at. But generally speaking, I don't even know if it's going to pull back. It looks like it has a lot of momentum. You got to keep in mind, Bitcoin is cranking right now. It keeps edging up closer to 38,000. It'll wipe those extra levels of liquidity up at 38,000, okay? So again, another liquidity sweep for Bitcoin leads to one here for Solana. So be very careful. If you got a short open right now with Solana, do not recommend keeping it open. Take some profits if you have some. Honestly, if you have a short open, you're still in profit. What are you doing with yourself? You should have taken profits a long time ago. Again, don't get greedy in this market. This market gives and takes consistently. The key is to use good risk tolerance and good risk management. Those are all things I teach in my trading university. So be sure to check that out. Again, cryptocash.tech is a link down below. We have trade signals, of course. They're obviously a lot smaller than this. Don't get me wrong. I'm never going to 100x leverage a trade, okay? Especially when I got dozens, well, more like hundreds of traders following underneath me. There's no reason for me to do that. But most of my trades are 5 to 10x leverage, and they are safe and very beneficial. Okay, these are just some small little swing trades here. But if you want to look here, just say, for example, Solana, I have AVAX, BNB. These are all shorts from yesterday. But they're just consistently firing. It's a fully automated day trading bot that I have. My premium group's different here. I actually have regular trades that I send out signals for myself, where we've been taking some decent profits. Near and Avalanche is one of them. Anyways, we don't need to get into detail there. I just like to highlight that because I get the question all the time. What's it about? Technically, cryptocash.tech explains if you go to my website, but it's there. Very last thing, on my Discord, please, please, please be familiar yourself with the announcements section. There's a lot of scammers that try to impersonate me. Look at this clever guy. Puts a little decimal point at the end and starts sending direct messages. I'll never DM you. I'll respond perfectly fine, but you have to initiate, okay? I will never do that. So just know, I recommend disabling direct messages on Discord if you're going to have any luck, fighting that or not being taken advantage of. I just hate to see that happen. We've had some really cool people have that happen. It's just really, really crappy. So anyways, thanks again for watching. Hope you have a great rest of your day. Thanks again for your time. We'll see you in the next one. Take care.